Welcome, everybody. I'm Nick, proud New York Jets fans. And you're proud New York Jets fans today. Why? Because it's a New York Jets victory Monday celebration. I'm excited. You're excited. We're excited. But I'm not here alone. There is a man I'm going to bring in with me. He has been known to be chaotic. He has been known to be outrageous. He wants to tase people at a dog park if you look at his dog the wrong way. He's normally eating, but I caught him in an hour when he's actually not. He is a fantastic human being. He is going to brag and tell you how he knew Breece Hall was running for over 125 yards, and I'm going to let him. I usually shit on him with all of his takes, but not today. He is going to bask. He is going to celebrate. We are going to do it together. You know who he is. It's my buddy, Mr. Chaos.
What is up? What is going on?
I don't have the voice yet to do the long introduction, but I'm giving you what I got, pal.
Okay.
But first, before we say what's up to everybody, we're going to play you a little video. We'll be right back. We'll get the show going. It's a celebration, bitches.
This is producer JR, and you are watching a proud New York Jets fan show. Now give it up for my boy Nick.
Rodgers is a fucking Jet. Let's go!
This for my special delivery. Spit like this, get my wrist all glittery.
Can't wait.
Get cake, snakes get slithery. Lean in, show y'all the mean in the chivalry.
Let's make sure we
Rap
play like the
Buddha.
New York Jets.
Right jab like Zab Judah. Every member on my team is a shooter. Tight like a womb, no room for intruders. Spark, twist to the
now,
Philly.
give it up
Good
for
humor.
Dick
Don't
Shot.
be silly. It's gravy, baby. I got it all smothered.
Let's go
Like
eat a
makeup.
damn snack.
Before we get this party underway, let's say hello to a couple people. Our man Twisted is here.
Oh, old man, grandpa. What's up?
I have little. Hi, you have little to say good about this game, huh? All right, we're going to talk about it. Matthias, I wish I could have recorded the off-air conversation that we had for 5 minutes. I literally said to him, "This is the best show we've ever done, and we're not even live yet." Like the rant and the tangent that he went on, I was like, my eyes were bugging out of my head, buddy. Thanks for joining. Christopher Carl is here. Years later, oh, it does. It does. It always will. That's our FU moment, right? Until we get to hoist the trophy and something bigger replaces that. Winning that game in that stadium that day, that was everything. So let's get into it. Huge win, a game that we needed for multiple reasons, right? We needed to win for the win-loss record. You don't want to be 1-4. 2002 doesn't happen every year, right? Teams 1-4 don't come back and make the playoffs all the time like we did with Chad Pennington back in the day. You wanted it for the coaches, right? Peyton attacked us. Peyton declared war on the Jets for no reason. I love the way the team came together. I love CJ Uzama's pregame speech. Fuck him, fuck them. There's a lot to be said about a team in a professional sport that feels attacked from the outside. You can either crumble under the pressure or you can unite, you can come together, and you can rise up together. And I know we were supposed to have Aaron Rodgers. I know we were supposed to be an elite team. But for the most part, looking at this roster, Jared, we're a young team still learning how to win. We got a lot of key players who are young. We got a lot of key players on their first contract. We got a lot of guys who've never had a winning record in the NFL at the end of the season. So this team is learning how to win games. And to come out of there with the win when every Jet fan thought it, 24-21, they got the ball, 2 minutes left, they need a field goal. All right, oh shit, we're going to overtime. Hopefully they don't score a touchdown. Maybe we just go to overtime. Everyone thought it, right? This is why this team's different. This is why this team is different, because they can win the game in multiple ways. You want Breece Hall to run for 177? I'll let you take the whole Breece Hall thing. I'll just brush over it. Breece Hall's all you, buddy. You deserve it. You get your flowers today on the show. Breece Hall takes off. Vera Tucker goes down. Max Mitchell had a key block on the Breece Hall run. He down blocked with Tomlinson, with Tippmann. Tomlinson and Bawden went through the hole, cleared over. He goes 72 yards, not getting touched. Mitchell stepped up. Billy Turner was in for 6 plays. He didn't do bad. Becton, we all went. Man, I got up and walked around the room. I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, it can't be. When he was down holding the knee, I said to the kids, it can't be 3 years in a row. Like, come on, man. Like, get up. It'll be all right. Like, get back in. And when I saw him come back in, I really felt like I watched one of my kids overcome adversity. I was so happy for Becton that it wasn't, here we go again. You know? You look at Zach, 72.4% completion percentage the last 2 games. That's Tom Brady. That's Mahomes. That's Drew Brees. That's elite completion percentage. That's Chad Pennington completion percentage. The defense, kudos to Ulbrich. My favorite quote from yesterday was from Quincy Williams, who I'm now calling Mariano Rivera because he's the closer. You don't blitz him all goddamn game. You blitz him twice in the last 2 minutes and he delivers. Quincy Williams said, as soon as the call came in, I knew I was getting a sack. I was just shocked that that play call came in because we don't call it. It's been a long time since we called it. That was the one, not the sack fumble. That was the other one.
Right.
Where Mosley was lined up over the guard, and I'm yelling at the TV, Mosley better drop, because he'll dunk it right to a tight end over the middle. I'm like, Mosley better drop. Mosley dropped, and the guard looked at Mosley, and Quincy got right through the goddamn hole, man. It was nice to see players developing. It was nice to see Bryce Hall make a play when every single Jet fan had concerns about him. Can he fit in this scheme? The last time he played well, it was only a man scheme. Are they going to pick on him? Are they going to take advantage of him? I thought he answered the bell really well. Michael Carter in the slot guy just is the most consistent player on the team who never gets a lot of praise, Jack. The D-line stepped up. Will McDonald's spin move to free Quincy on the sack fumble was fantastic. Huff with another good game. Jermaine Johnson really, really stepped up, man. There's a lot of good signs on this team. Cook got demoted to the 3rd running back. Michael Carter got more. I'm just throwing everything out in my head, and then we can pick and choose what we want to talk about. I just wanted to give a quick recap. But go ahead, man. You called Hall, and the guy who had 6 carries last week, you were like, fuck that. He's going off. Take your flowers, buddy. You deserve it.
Yeah, I just think that maybe they're finally realizing it. Maybe they I'm wondering when the NFL is going to realize it. I've been saying this. I'm not patting myself on the back. It just feels good to be right about something. I've been saying this since they freaking drafted this kid and I started watching all the film. I've been saying this, and people ridiculed me, get my Bob, and said, you don't know what how could you compare him to these guys? He hasn't taken an NFL snap. And I was like, look, I'm not saying he is a fucking amazing running back. I'm saying I could see that he has the potential to be, and I really believe he's going to be. And there's a difference. I'm not, and I kept saying, I believe this kid is special. I see something in this kid. And I'm just so happy because I don't know if the whole NFL is really caught on yet completely, but I've been saying it the whole time. This is your new Adrian Peterson, your new Edgerrin James. This is your new Emmitt Smith. This is your new guy. This is the guy. He really is the guy. And I have never seen in 40 plus years of watching football, don't have any memory of a running back where if you give him 10 or more carries a game, he's going to break a 50 plus yard touchdown run every game that he gets over 10 carries. And I feel like that's what's happening. Every time this kid gets enough carries, he eventually breaks one. I've never seen anything like it. It's every game.
It is.
It's every game. It's insane. He is just beyond belief good. And I honestly believe the greatest running back that we've ever had. He'll prove to be. But, knock on wood, injuries, like without injuries, he will end up being the greatest running back in the history of the New York Jets and a Hall of Fame NFL great.
Yeah.
Because I have never seen this. What this kid is doing is ridiculous. And we need to start building our offense more around it.
Agreed. I got a tweet from Michael Nani I wanted to bring up. I was searching for it. He tweets a lot, so it took me a while to scroll down and find it from 15 hours ago. With this performance today, Breece Hall now has the best yards per carry over a running back's first 12 career games, minimum 100 carries, since 1970. Names that you mentioned, Bo Jackson's number 5 at 5.79. Adrian Peterson, who a lot of people consider the greatest runner ever, 5.86. Philip Lindsay, 6.08. Franco Harris, 6.32. Hall, 6.34. Hall has 850 career yards on 134 attempts. At that pace, 268 carries would equal a 1,700-yard season. Can you imagine if this guy got 350, 400 touches? Granted, it might obviously keep up that pace would be difficult to do. The day and era of 25 to 30 carries a week for running backs, I think, are over. You're not going to see that on him, but he showed, and we talked about it. We discussed this at length, right? We'll know when Breece Hall is Breece Hall. He gets caught in the Buffalo game. His timing was off with Conklin. He made Conklin trip up in the Kansas City game last week. And we just said it's a matter of repetition. It's a matter of time. And Hall looks incredible. I didn't expect this. 147 yards and 10 touches in the Buffalo game. 177 yards on the ground yesterday. He's top 5 in the league in rushing, and I think he's got half the carries as some of the other guys. I think he's averaging 8.2 yards a carry this year. That's video game numbers. That's Michael Vick scrambling numbers, right? Like Lamar Jackson, they send everyone downfield and then the quarterback breaks it. You don't get that from a running back. His patience, his acceleration, it looks, and I say this in a total complimentary way, it looks effortless. Like it looks like the game is so easy for him. He looks like a college back playing against like JV high school kids. He looks just like he is on another level. And we all hoped and prayed he'd come back okay from the knee injury. Aside from the stamina issue we saw when he got caught in the Buffalo game, I mean, we could be looking at the best running back in the NFL. We really could. And now it's his offense, and that makes things easier for Zach. Coincidence that Breece Hall has a game like that and Zach goes 19 to 26? No, because the run game and the play action in the pass now feed off one another. What have we always asked for with this team? Offense to defense and offense. Complementary football, right? Give me your thoughts on Zach.
Oh, well, okay. So Zach, it's kind of like I think he played okay. I do. And I think, and I want to be honest on both sides of it. It's not easy to have that kind of completion percentage. And it wasn't like little screen passes and only dinks and dunks. He stayed in the pocket. He made real throws. So I don't want to hear, this wasn't like Mac Jones his rookie year when he was just dinking and dunking the ball. And everybody was saying, oh yeah, but look, he can't throw a pass over 10 yards. No, Zach was throwing the ball. He certainly proved at this point, he's certainly a better quarterback than he's ever been in the previous 2 years. Like, there's no question Zach is better.
Let me ask you a question.
He's certainly proven that anybody who said he can't be a QB2, name a better QB2 in the NFL, except maybe Gary Minshew could be an argument. But, like, he's definitely a very good QB2. Now,
I love that you never say names right. I swear to God, it's my favorite thing that I do. It's Gardner Minshew.
Now if Zach,
Gary, I love it.
now, if Zach Wilson was to keep stacking games like this, and I understand Twisted's going crazy. His underpants are all twisted. He's going crazy. Look, if he starts to put it together, and I partly blame the play calling in the red zone, and he starts putting up some touchdowns, his numbers are up there with the elite quarterbacks. That was the only thing that was lacking, is that we're not getting the ball in the end zone in the red zone. And I know, and I in the end zone when we're in the red zone, I know that's a problem. But this is game 2 of a new revitalized Zach Wilson. Just be happy that he is playing better than he ever has, and he seems to have grown. And I don't know. I'm kind of thinking this is not like last year because Zach Wilson's a much better quarterback than he was last year. And that if we keep continuing to call the right type of plays around him and keep developing the offense for him and Breece Hall, I believe we're going to get better each week. And so I'm kind of both ways on Zach. I mean, it wasn't like the Kansas City game where I'm jumping up and down, but I'm also not upset with Zach Wilson. He played solid. A lot of that wasn't his fault. Things that went wrong on offense were not his fault.
I don't have the stamina and the energy to get as excited as I want to get, but how the hell can you say the kid choked? I don't get it, Twisted. I'm going to get to your other comments. And we watch him choke time after time. He went 19 of 26. The one interception he had is completely Garrett Wilson's fault, because Garrett Wilson tried to catch it and cradle it instead of going out with his hands and snatching it and pulling it in. It's a good underthrow, because now when Garrett cuts in, you have the chance of the pass interference. You're not throwing a jump ball where he can go up and get it. You, instead of a back shoulder throw, you throw it low and in where he can cut in and undercut the corner. So that's, and Surtain got the interception with his fucking legs. It was like a Jason Sehorn interception against the Eagles years ago in the playoffs in 2000. Garrett Wilson should have snatched the goddamn ball with his hands and tucked it in, and it's a non-issue.
Let's speak the truth. Garrett Wilson had a bad game overall. Like for him. Not a bad game compared to other players, but for Garrett Wilson, it was a very bad game.
He was shadowed by one of the top, a guy that a lot of people call the number one corner in the NFL.
Right. He did a great job on Garrett Wilson. He caused Garrett Wilson to make mistakes. Garrett Wilson messed up on that play. Also, people want to make excuses for the drop pass that was right to him in the beginning of the game and saying Zach doesn't have touch and throws it too hard. Come on. He's an NFL wide receiver. The ball went right to his hands. You can't sit there and say,
how did he miss guys time and time again downfield? He only had 7 incompletions out of 26 passes. He went 19 of 26, Twisted. Listen, things that we have had concerns about with Zach are not concerns right now. He's not turning the ball over in the red zone. That was an issue. A lot of picks, a lot of forced throws, trying to play hero ball, seeing something that he thinks Brett Favre throws. He did that his rookie year. He did that last year. What did we see in the Patriot game? We saw a guy in the pocket, not comfortable, not confident, rolling out, throwing the ball out of bounds every goddamn third down because he couldn't process what the defense was doing, or he was being told, throw it away, we'll punt it away, they can't score on us. You're watching the team not be held back by the quarterback anymore, Twisted. He wasn't supposed to fucking play. It was supposed to be 2 years of sitting in the room with Rodgers, learning how to process, learning how to read the defense, learning. I think he's doing pretty goddamn well for 4 or 5 weeks when he wasn't supposed to fucking do anything but hold the clipboard. We never saw Zach Wilson go 19 of 26. We were shit scared. The kid's making throws to Conklin. You want to know how the coaching staff believes in him? Because when it was 3rd and 5, they threw the goddamn ball to Wilson and they didn't just hand it off. The last 2 years, we would have just handed the fucking ball off and settled for the field goal. They went for it. They trusted the kid to throw it. This is not the same Zach, man. I can't believe that's your take on it. You cannot like him, but you have to admit he is developed. He has evolved. I don't want to give it to coaching. You want to give it to the team. You want to give it to Zach maturing, a combination of all of it. But this is not the same kid that was anchoring us. We are winning partially because of Zach Wilson's play.
Well, it's
Rant over.
it's
I need a
interesting.
nap after that,
It's
man. I've
also
been sick.
it's also there's this level of what did you expect? Like, was the expectation that he was going to go from being the worst quarterback with 25 starts, like
Excuse me. Winners find a way to win. We won. Winners find ways to win. We won. Those 5 field goals helped. We got to the red zone. We weren't kicking 63-yard field goals because we barely got to midfield. We were getting to the red zone. How are you upset today, dude?
But listen, what did you expect? He was horrible quarterback.
Hey, Mark.
He comes into the game, right? We're all disappointed in the first 2 years. We all think he's a bust. We're all like, Zach Wilson's not an NFL quarterback. Did you think, is the expectation that he got to turn around and be a superstar? Like he has to turn around and be great? You can't. You can't understand that it's a process. You can't let him take steps forward and improve. You think it has to be, I'm going from a D student and now I'm expected to be an A student? Isn't it okay for a D to become a C plus first and then grow into a B and then maybe go to A? Like, I don't understand. You expected him to come in and now your expectation is that he's a top 15 quarterback in the NFL? Look at Mac Jones. He hasn't finished his last 2 games.
He's regressed.
He's regressed. He's gotten worse.
Progressed. He's regressed. He's unplayable, Mac Jones. Mac Jones looks like Zach Wilson for the last 2 years. Ace Tag, welcome. First time I'm seeing you here. Thank you. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm not going to talk about that. Hey, and all right, let's talk about this. I like that you brought this up. I keep saying that, don't forget, this offense was built for Aaron Rodgers. We know that. There's a learning curve of what the coach, Hackett, and Wilson want to do in certain situations. They're learning one another. Hackett wasn't brought in for Wilson. They don't have a long relationship. There is a learning curve. Hackett was not supposed to be calling plays for Wilson. You see the evolution. Every week, Zach is doing something better that he previously has not been able to do. The coaching staff deserves a lot of credit. Zach deserves a lot of credit. Why are we acting like he threw 5 interceptions and we lost the game by 30?
It's crazy.
When you have an elite runner, the offense is going to go through Hall, and we need Zach to be efficient. 19 of 26 with 1 late interception on a play that Garrett should have made is very efficient, and it is light years from the Zach Wilson we've seen in the past. Yeah, Rusty, 100%. Because Garrett tried to cradle it instead of going out and snatching it. He snatches that ball. That's a great throw. We run out the clock.
What makes Garrett Wilson a great receiver normally is he uses his hands. He's a hands receiver. What he did on that play was he tried to use his body. That is not how you do it, and that's why that interception occurred. Zach Wilson has played his last 3 games, and that was the only interception, right? He almost went 3 full games, and it wasn't even his fault. He's efficient.
Josh Allen is the choke king. Very good comment. I'm sorry.
Josh Allen, or what about Daniel Jones? I mean, look how many quarterbacks. Daniel Jones is getting $40 million a year. Zach Wilson the last 2 weeks is better than Daniel Jones.
All right. Twisted. I'm going to go one more comment with this, man, and then we got to move on from the Zach hate. How about the throw to Conklin? How about the throw to Garrett Wilson downfield that he throws over the cornerback who tried to undercut it? Old Zach Wilson wouldn't have put the touch on that to get there. He would have put muscle on it, and the cornerback would have picked it off short. How many times have we seen Zach get picked off on a sideline route because he puts it 7 yards or 7 feet off the ground the whole way and tries to muscle it? That was beautiful touch.
And we may have gotten good news with AVT. So it's a really good morning to be happy.
Yeah, man. I can't believe that this is where we're at. This is not Madden. We're not just going to spread it out and chuck it downfield time and time again. The kid's evolving. The kid's growing. The kid wasn't supposed to fucking play, guys.
I mean,
how are we upset?
It's almost like people are bitching and moaning because he's like, oh, he's not like Patrick Mahomes. He's not whipping the ball 30 yards downfield every play.
Patrick Mahomes isn't whipping the ball over the field this year. Like, defenses are evolving to the new era.
It's not so easy. Look at other quarterbacks and what's going on in the league. Zach Wilson is okay right now. I'm not saying he's great. Nobody is sitting there saying he's a superstar right now, but he's much better and he's giving us a chance.
How do we say they failed to assemble a proper, consistent offensive line?
Well, he wants
We
more.
just had 3 games in a row with the same line starting. We watched an evolution of the offensive line. Tittman has played fantastic. AVT switched out. Becton's been playing well. Tomlinson's been playing well. And McGovern is solid. The last 3 games, the offensive line has gotten better each game. And you saw that. They ran for 234 yards yesterday. They didn't give up a lot of sacks. There was some pressure. But that's part of the learning curve with a young quarterback. He just started his 24th, 25th game. And this is what you want to see. The trajectory is going upward, guys.
By the way, you want to talk about offensive line. Those of you, take my advice on this, or just take my recommendation. I recommend that you watch the Breece Hall touchdown run. And I recommend that you, during the play, keep your eyes on number 66, Joe Tittman. Or is it 65? I think it's 66, right? So keep your eyes on Joe Tittman from the snap.
You go ahead. Take the show. Talk for a minute. I'm
going
to try to pull that.
Okay. Watch what Joe Tittman does on that touchdown run. Everybody's saying, Joe Douglas, build the offensive line, build the offensive line. Well, he just drafted this kid as a center. He was supposed to be a center. He's playing a new position, right guard. I want you to watch the play, the Breece Hall touchdown run. If we have it, we'll play it. If we can find it, it's on Twitter.
I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm going to Baldinger right now. Baldinger broke it down fantastically this morning. I just got to find it.
Watch the block from Joe Tittman. Everybody cried. Why didn't we take JMS or what? Watch the block from Joe Tittman and tell me how often you see a guard do that to a 300-pound interior tackle. Watch the block, because we're talking about Breece Hall. I love Breece Hall. I mean, he's my guy. But you want to talk about what made that play happen? You watch Joe Tittman on that play. Now, I know Rusty Spooner's out there listening to me. And Rusty Spooner does film and tape as much as anybody else. And I know if he hasn't watched that play and focused on Tittman yet, and he does, I know he's going to agree with me. I know what Rusty's going to say about Joe Tittman on that play, because you don't see that every day in the NFL. You don't see that. You want to talk about one guy creating a hole for a running back to run through. Watch that play. You want to look at all-pro perfection in an offensive guard. You watch that play, because for a rookie in his 3rd game, playing out of position, switched his position, didn't even play right guard in camp all that much, suddenly gets thrown into right guard and makes a play at that level in that part of a football game, in that situation, in the beginning of the 3rd quarter, understands what we're building in this offensive line. It's hard to have depth. It's hard to, when you get injuries, to have backup guys that are good starters, because they wouldn't be backup guys if that was the case. But watch Joe Tittman here. He's the one next to Zach Wilson, if you don't know. He's to Zach Wilson's right.
Let me unmute myself. You hear me, right? I can't see the screen. You hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on.
You can't see the screen, though.
Hold on. I got to get back to it. I'm new at this shit. You see this? You see it?
Yeah. Watch Joe Tittman, guys. He's the guy on the inside.
Watch this hole. Watch this hole open up.
Watch what he does to this defender that's on top of him right now. Watch what he does. Watch what he does. Look how far he pushes him. Look how far he pushes him. Where is he, guys? Where is he? What is that, 3 yards, 4 yards? 3 to 4 yards he pushed him. Do you see? He made that hole. And I'm not taking away anything from the guy on the right, whoever played tackle on that play. I think it may have been Mitchell or Turner. Great job. But that's a rookie. That's a rookie. Look at this. In his 3rd start. Drafted as a center. That can't be ignored. If you're going to criticize Joe Douglas for every bad pick he's ever made, you have to recognize his hits. You have to recognize Bryce Huff. You have to recognize Joe Tippmann. We have a level of quality.
Hold on 1 second. Jer, listen to this. Listen to Baldy's breakdown of the offensive line. That was the Breece Hall compliment. Here he is.
We can't hear it, Nick. You have to share the audio of your computer. There's a little box to check.
Damn it.
When you share a video with audio, there's a little box to hit where you have to share audio. Otherwise, we can't hear it.
All right. I actually closed it out. Go search Brian Baldinger. The offensive line is starting to gel. It was 3 straight games with the same offensive line, guys. Max Mitchell came in. Did you see Borden? Do you know the job of the fullback? The job of the fullback is to take on the guy in the hole to create a lane for the runner. Borden had nobody to hit on the run because Mitchell, Tippmann, McGovern, and Tomlinson cleared everybody else out. Borden's running around looking for somebody to hit, and he veers out to try to seal the corner, but Hall's gone already. I can't believe we're
still arguing that he's like acting like that's what offensive linemen normally do. What we're talking about.
Yes, you're right. Because everybody scores 72-yard touchdown runs every week. They're a dime a dozen.
Like we got to appreciate the good things.
I appreciate you.
We got to appreciate the good things, man. You just have to. Look, I'm not thrilled. I
think I said this to you. We're one Jermaine Johnson holding call, and
I know
Whitehead not giving up that wide open touchdown pass on the Patriots from being 4-1. We're that close to being 4-1 and tied for the division lead. I can't fucking believe Jets fans, man.
The only game we weren't competitive was the Dallas game. That was the only game. And granted, that was an ugly game. It was an awful game. It was a disgusting game. But the reality is that was one game, and we've been competitive in every other game. Without our quarterback, we lost our starter, man. We lost our starter. Look at other NFL teams.
Yeah.
What happens to them when they lose their starter? The Denver Broncos have Russell Wilson. They got the big name, Sean Payton, who talked about us winning the offseason. Well, what about you? Everybody made this grand freaking thing out of, the Denver's a Super Bowl contender again because they got Sean Payton, and he's going to fix Russell Wilson and this and that. Well, how would you feel being a Bronco fan right now? They're going to get a top 5 pick in this year's draft, guys. So
and I just want to say this. Let me add this. So are the Patriots. Rusty, I think you did see him. He didn't completely get benched, but you saw Michael Carter take a lot more snaps than Cook. Cook was obviously demoted down to the 3rd running back, deservedly so. I thought Cook played a little better in his limited opportunities. Maybe he's starting to get his legs under him. We didn't see him slamming into the nearest defender for a 1-yard gain like we did, or 1-yard loss in previous weeks. Maybe he's starting to get his legs under him. I'm not against Izzy. I'm not against Izzy getting a chance if Cook gets banged up even slightly. Listen, the New York Jets showed their fan base and their locker room a lot yesterday by not activating Carl Lawson. They said to the team, they said to the locker room, we don't care what your salary is. You're a healthy scratch today. You're not what we're expecting. I think that is the sign of a coach, a coaching staff, and a front office saying to the locker room, your paycheck doesn't mean a goddamn thing to us. Your performance does. And until you get your performance right, then everyone's on notice. I think that's a good message to send to a team on the come up. Hey, Phil, how are you? Thanks for watching, buddy. Average QB makes the playoffs with Harry at 100% making them. Guys, let's break it down. Zach Wilson thrown into a game where the entire stadium and country was in shock over Aaron Rodgers' injury. We beat the Buffalo Bills by 6. Week 2, we got blown out by the Cowboys. That was our only non-competitive game. Week 3 against the Patriots, we lose by 5. Competitive all game. In the game at the end to win it with the 3 chances in the final minute or final 3 minutes, we had the ball. Week 4, we play with the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, lose by a field goal. And this week, we win by 10. Who would have thought that with Zach Wilson at the helm, we're in 4 out of 5 games?
Oh, and not only that, yesterday's game, and believe me, there's a lot to talk about and concern. I understand the concerns. I felt them as much as anyone. Everybody knows that I was flipping out. That first half of yesterday's game needs to be fixed. That was unacceptable. It was a ridiculous first half. There was lots of problems, but you know what? We're getting to learn with a victory. We got out of there with a victory, and we get to address those problems and get better and grow. But make no mistake about it. The referees did again. The referees, they're like a third team on that field that we're playing against. It's like playing against 2 teams. Again, we watched the referees call every little thing that they could find on us. There was a helmet-to-helmet hit on Zach Wilson. It was ignored. There was a face mask on Zach Wilson on like the second play of the game. It was ignored. There was holding on our edge rushers all freaking game, and again, ignored. As soon as they can call.
How about the first sack on Zach where the hand was in the face mask?
That was the face mask. But as soon as Bryce Hall has any kind of contact with the receiver that you can call holding, which happens all game long on every team, and it was a crucial moment near the end of the game, the referees went right for it. I am telling you, the fact that we won in spite of the referees doing everything they can to stop us from winning.
Yeah, good point. I asked if they could hear it. I'm sorry. My apologies.
No, that was no sound to the
I know.
The breakdown.
I asked if we could hear it. I'm sorry.
I gave them the breakdown, though. I broke it down for them. I showed them what it was. I said, look.
All right, you're Baldy. We got Baldy's breakdowns. It's still the same name, Baldy's breakdown.
Not that I had to point it out. Anybody with eyes was able to see it. I'm waiting for Savage Jedi Rusty Spooner to say, "You're spot on, Chaos. That was an amazing block by Tippmann." Actually, he was saying that Tippmann should be moved to center. But I think Tom
why are we going to change? Why? When you look at the second, third, and Buffalo Jet fan tweeted the DM group that I'm in, and from the second quarter on, that was elite offensive line play. That was outstanding offensive line play. You want to beat the Eagles, you need to play like that. You can't go down 14-0 to them.
And that's
that. We need to control the clock. We need to do what the Eagles do.
And that's Buffalo.
We need to run the goddamn ball, time of possession, 7.5-minute drive, and finish it with 7. We can't settle for field goals against the Eagles.
And that's, for Buffalo Jet fan to point that out, I mean, we're talking about, not the sharpest or brightest light bulb in the world. Right, so for even Buffalo to notice that,
this him. I wanted him to come on, but he's off today, but he's driving. I tried to get him to hop on with us.
Not very smart.
Buffalo.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
Not talking breathing in Buffalo.
The offense is getting better with the I got two schools of thought on this, right? Yes, they need to come out better. But how many times in the past have we seen the New York Jets go down 7-0, 10-0, 13-0, 17-0, and then it's 34-0, 34-6. I love that we have the coaching staff that can make changes and adjust during the game. But you're right. I would like to see a better start. But I love that they can acknowledge, all right, they're doing this. We need to do this. They're catching us here. We're going to do this to counter it. That's a sign of a great coaching staff to say, all right, you know what? We had this in the plan. It's not working. We're going back to this. Or to the Quincy Williams sack. Quincy Williams said, and for those of you who didn't hear earlier in the show in the opening, Quincy Williams said, when they called the blitz, I knew I was going to get a sack. I was just shocked that we called it because we haven't called that play in so long. So you're seeing that they got a bag of tricks that they can go into. We can show things that the opposition hasn't seen from us. We're growing as a team, as a coaching staff. Like, this is why you don't go and fire a coach every 2-3 years, which some of you still fucking call for. Because you can evolve as a team. You evolve as a scheme. We don't want to be the same old Jets, but you want to do the same old shit and fire everybody and start over. How do you think teams get good?
You have to have continuity, and sometimes you have to brave the storm. And
yeah. It's like a guy who dates a different girlfriend every weekend. I'm like, why aren't I getting married?
Rodgers getting hurt, really put a delay, put a cog in the wheel. And we're literally watching offensively, we're watching a coach having to rebuild the offense a whole new way around a whole different quarterback. And we're watching a quarterback growing and improving and a quarterback who's just discovering himself. But there's still going to be those mistakes. There's still going to be those little setbacks. It doesn't just happen like you snap your finger and now you're going to be an all-pro quarterback every week. He's going to struggle at times still. I mean, get ready. There's a very good chance that he's going to have a nightmarish game against the Eagles if we can't establish a run game. If we establish a run game, we're going to hide Zach Wilson. And we have to. We have to do that because the Eagles are a championship-level team. So understand, if we don't establish a run game, yes, it's going to be very hard for Zach. And we got to hope for efficiency. We got to hope he doesn't turn the ball over and he just gives us a chance. And it's okay. It's okay. But if Zach Wilson comes out and lights up the Giants, then we can have hope again. We can say, oh, look, when we're not overmatched, he does it. And if he doesn't do it against the Giants, then we start to show concern. I get it. I see how it works. But when you're playing a team like the Eagles, we're not gonna judge Zach Wilson 100% on that unless he completely collapses and throws 5 interceptions after interception. But if he does, you have to look at every play. If he does the best outcome that you could expect based on the situation, that's how you have to judge him. It's going to be a very rough.
For a minute, I gotta use the bathroom. Take the show for a minute.
Okay, it's going to be a very rough game for Zach Wilson. It's going to be rough. I'm saying it right now. We're all going to be very unhappy on Sunday, most likely, against the Eagles. Look, it's football. Any given Sunday, anything could happen. I'm a Jet fan. I'm going to be rooting my heart out for them and hope that something goes our way. But you have to understand the likelihood of us winning this game is not high. Okay, it's not the history with the Eagles. It's the fact that they are there. They're a championship level team. They're there. They're where we're trying to get. So being realistic, we're not there yet. Zach is getting a little bit better. The coaching staff is getting to know this team with Zach Wilson running it and getting a little bit better. And they're trying to build it and make it happen. And we're going to go now and play a team that's already Super Bowl level, right? We're playing the Niners and the Eagles. They're the toast of the NFC right now. So we have to understand that. It's going to be hard. It would be hard for any quarterback, right? I don't care. Even if it was Aaron Rodgers, I'd be thinking it's going to be a very difficult game. And I wouldn't be sure that Aaron Rodgers is going to have a great game. Remember, I love A-Rod. I'm not knocking him. He didn't have a great game every game of his career. Aaron Rodgers had bad games, guys. Really bad games. I mean, every quarterback has had bad games. Look at Josh Allen, bad games. Look at Mahomes last week against us, bad game. Sometimes when you play a good defense, your quarterback's going to have a bad game. It's going to be rough for Zach Wilson on Sunday. But I would think that no matter who my quarterback was. But now we're talking about a quarterback who's just trying to figure it out. So if we're smart, our game plan is going to be as focused on maintaining the confidence and not destroying Zach Wilson's mental health as possible, as much as it is winning that game. We have to literally protect Zach Wilson's confidence. We have to. That's what coaching staffs do, because it's going to be rough. I'm telling you that right now. Their defensive line is spectacular, and our offensive line is banged up. So it's going to be a very bad situation potentially. Now, you never know. We might play above ourselves. We steal a victory, it's going to be incredible. It's going to feel great. If we lose, I'm not going to lie. It's kind of what I expect to happen. Most of us are thinking 2-4, and then we're hoping we're going to come back and beat the Giants 3-4, and then win the next game. I think is the Chargers. I'm not sure, and be 4-4, and then start the season.
And then Raiders.
Right, start the season with a reasonable schedule. But that's what we're hoping for right now. Now, again, I'm not giving up any given Sunday, but please, I'm not in the mood, whatever happens this Sunday, to have to deal with every jet flame flipping out and jumping off bridges. Okay? This is going to be a crazy hard game.
If there's anything that you know about this team, they compete to the very end. Even in the Dallas game, they were competing to the end. They don't give up. DJ Reed should be back. That's huge. We're obviously waiting to hear the AVT news.
We're waiting news on who?
I'm looking now. Tweets came in. I'm looking to see what it is. If there's anything Jet related. Khalil Herbert. Yeah. Adjustments could be the Jets' greatest strength. Yeah, Phil, they are. And that's a sign of a good staff. You can have your game plan. And certain coaches, we've had them. Adam Gase stuck with the plan. And if it wasn't working, he still did it. Frank Gore, right up the middle on a dive. We saw that play time and time again because he thought it could work. It didn't. A good coach knows what to do and knows when to scrap a plan and change it. And you got to be able to have your game plan, but you also have to be able to know when the game plan isn't working and adjust on the fly. Lawson not playing very official. I mean, I don't know if anyone would want to trade for Carl Lawson, but I would send him for anything. He's gone after this year anyway. I would get anything.
Yeah,
it does suck. Let me take this. I'll throw it to you. It does suck, but it builds character, and it builds a team to know that. Listen, we've watched Jet teams know that they go down 10-0. Shit, we don't have a chance. The last 2 years with Zach, if we went down, we don't have a chance. How about the fact that we're coming back? How about the fact that we're down 17-0 to the Chiefs and came back to tie it at 20? How about that we came back and won yesterday? Yeah, the play before the half, not spiking that ball, was brutal. That was brutal. The same old Jets would have let that snowball domino effect into the second half, come out sluggish and lethargic, and got their doors blown off and lose that game 35-11. It's not us anymore. It's not the character, the guys that we have. I agree. Take the ball against Philly. Go score on them. Yes, I believe it's 0-12-1. I think there was a tie in the 70s. I think we're 0-12-1. You could fact check me if you want, but it's something like that. Eagles have flaws like the Chiefs, but they're a fast overall team. They are. That's why DJ Reed coming back helps, because you got the A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith at receivers. Swift is doing a really good job in the backfield running. Hurts can run the ball. That third and short, man, when they push the pile is a given. It's as much of a given as there is in sports right now, is them getting that. So as much as you might not like it, stop it. Is it bad, man? I agree. Hey, you go in this game and you compete with Philly and you show that we're not going to get dog walked like we got walked in the Cowboy game. teams are going to take this seriously. I think this is the national game this week on Fox. I think a large portion of the country is going to get this game. Let's start a cows to break our curse of being bad. Yeah. We win this game and we're 3-2 with the bye with Zach Wilson. Holy shit. What else could you have asked for? As catastrophic as September 11th was at MetLife Stadium, to then be 3-2 with the 3 games we have coming out of the bye? 3-3, I'm sorry. If we're 3-3 at the bye, you better throw a fucking parade. 3-3 at the bye would be insane, considering what this team has gone through. Shasky played in 3rd and early 4th against Denver. Definitely be a slobber knocker. Oh, definitely. A slobber knocker. That looks like a car crash out on I-95, King. That's my JR. I don't have my voice fully back yet. My vocal range of impersonations is usually pretty good. It's realistic to expect the loss against Philly. Even with Rodgers, it wasn't a sure thing. It's the clawing around in latrine with bad teams. That's upsetting. Yeah, but we're learning how to win, man. Sauce is young. Quinnen is still young. Quincy's young. Michael Carter's young. JJ, Huff, Clemens, McDonald. Our core is young. Tippmann, Vera Tucker, Becton. All these guys are first-year contract. Mosley and Tomlinson are guys that have won elsewhere. It's a new day, man. They're growing together, and that's a huge sign. Denver's a tough place to play. You get 3 points automatically with Vegas if you're the home team. So the fact that we were 1.5 basically means we were the favorite. It starts off at 3, and then they'll do it off of that. And listen to Eric. Eric knows what he's talking about. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Yeah, Eric never said anything wrong here. Hit the like button. I'm sorry you have to look at Jeremy. I'm sorry that my baby bladder had to put him on full screen. I apologize to you guys. Sometimes when you're live on air, things happen. Sometimes there's an OJ Bronco chase. Other times you got to look at Jeremy's head. Basically, big, white, ugly things. The white Bronco of the 90s and Jeremy's dome. I got to tell you, last night I sat down to finally eat, and I put on. I went to the live stream, the tape of you and Green Bean, and I got lucky enough that I was able to basically find your reaction to the punt with Irv Charles. Shout out to him. First play he makes in the NFL, he forces a fumble on a punt. Great call by the coaching staff, bringing him in, right? I saw the Breece Hall touchdown. I literally fast forwarded it to exactly when you guys were like going nuts reacting, and I had to go back a little bit to see the play. I told you I love that you guys do that. I think that's awesome. That's just not me. I'm too intense, to think about broadcasting. I
was pissing people off. Yeah, Green Bean was upset. Oh, you're being too negative. I mean, during the first half, I was so intense. I was like, this is ridiculous. I was like, these coaches won't make adjustments. It's like, the second half. I said, why do we have to be the only team that waits to the second half to make adjustments? Like, why couldn't we put a spy on Russell Wilson in the middle of the first quarter? Like after the first time he blew us away. Like, why did we have to wait to the second half to put Banks on him? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, why does it have to be the half? Why can't on the sideline they make it call a little huddle and make a freaking adjustment? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Oh, Phil's got a good point. He's happy that you have clothes on. If you want to see him take your shirt off, join us on. No, don't do it for free. Don't do it for free. Wednesday nights on Jets Chaos, we have the Pride and Chaos show, and we had some super chats come in, and he stripped down, and then Knobcraft donated some money to say, do not put it back on. Keep it off.
Can you imagine what just happened to Rusty when I started to take that shirt off? What he must be thinking. He's somewhere in witness protection out in like Nebraska. And he's watching me start to take. He's like, "What the fuck is this kid doing already? Hey, keep your shirt on."
It's like they finally figured out a game plan for the stacked box. Only took 2 years for Salah to adjust. I mean, you got to give credit to Hackett, and you got to give credit to Zach, and they're finding plays that work. They're finding what the kid is good at. Darius Slay is a good corner. He's probably gonna travel with Garrett. I think you got to find ways to get the ball out quick against their pass rush. I think you got to find ways to get Gibson the ball, maybe a wide receiver screen, something like that. And when they like to rush the quarterback, let them rush the quarterback and then kick out, and let's get Gibson the ball out in space. Seems like we mirror play against teams. We play good teams in a battle. In battle with bad teams, we're close enough. But this is a team that is on the come up, though, Rusty. I keep going back to that because this is what you get with a young team learning how to win. There are going to be games where they don't know how to put people away. We don't have that throw to Wilson. Next time it happens, we put them away. That would have been the put away play. That would have ran the clock out. That would have been first down. We run out the clock. Game. Excuse me. Yeah. Chris, you're 100% dead on.
Yeah, and Tego, man. Tego is doing a great job in Miami with that offense. He's a hell of a coach. The way he's turned that offense around, my God.
I'm starting a special savings account to continue that trend. It's like a 401k. You got to set some money aside for future investments. And the tricks that Jeremy will pull out on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. on Jets Chaos Channel, it's worth the future investment.
Yeah, forget about buying all those memberships on Talking Jets. They don't need that crap. You got to give it to me to strip and to eat cheeseburgers and stuff and hot sauce.
We need.
I'm willing to burn my mouth off, baby.
I'm not doing body paint. There's not enough paint. I would need like a industrial sprayer to get me.
I'll paint stuff on my head, like loser, old.
Got to play aggressive against Philly. The defense is not good as last year. Got to put a spy on Hurts.
Put this out there, Nick. Put this out in the world, okay?
What?
If we need $150 in super chats on Wednesday, I'm gonna buy some body paint or face paint, and I'm gonna have Jocelyn write whatever the person who puts me over us to 150. Whoever does that super chat, Jocelyn will write anything they want on my forehead in paint. Like you could say, I'm a loser, I'm bald, I suck dick, like whatever you want to put on my head, she will write on my head.
So just truths.
But it'll be the person who gets us to $150 on Wednesday. I got to see if I can get the paint on time. I'll try to order it on Amazon.
All right.
And please, that was just an example. You don't have to make it say that.
Knob crap, that took a turn. That took a turn. Now, just a random follow-up, Knob. Will you do that act for $150? I don't want you to paint yourself. I just want to watch you perform it.
I think Knobcraft could be more creative in what he makes me put on my head.
I have so many jokes right now. I off-air jokes.
I know. I know you're gay.
You paint your face.
You're practically begging them to make you say something.
Here's $150. Can you get white face paint and just dribble a little bit off the side? So let's recap because even though I'm feeling better, my energy level is still horrible. The positives. I can't believe we talked that much about the negative. The positives. Finding ways to win. Winning a road game in the NFL is big. Zach looks more comfortable in the pocket week to week. Completing 72.4% of his passes the last 2 weeks is progress. He's not going to be Joe Burrow. He's not going to be Justin Herbert. He's going to be efficient. We got to find some play designs where Garrett Wilson can catch and run. We got to find – how about Conklin over the middle? We didn't even get to talk about Conklin with all the Zach shit. Conklin played – Conklin, that throw to Conklin up the middle where Zach looked left, looked right, and then hit Conklin up the seam, that was a huge play. That was probably the biggest play of the game besides Brees's run on offense. You know, you're seeing different things each week because you're seeing the offense grow, guys. Listen, we compete against Philly. We get that bye. We get everyone healthy. We get everyone who's dinged up. You know, Mekhi rests his knee for a week. You come out and you smash the shit out of the Giants.
Absolutely.
And then the Chargers, who have to travel cross country, you beat them. Absolutely. Then you go to Vegas on Monday night. You beat them.
You beat them too.
And then I think it's the Bills again in Buffalo, where our defense has their number.
Beat the Bills.
And then it's Miami on Black Friday.
Fuck the fish. Fry the fish.
We can go on a nice run, guys. We got Washington. We got Atlanta. We got New England.
Just win.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's crazy. I think this team gets to 9-10 wins. And the
care.
way the AFC North is beating each other up, good. That could only help us come wild card.
Come wild card. Plus, if we beat teams like the Chargers and the Raiders and beating the Broncos, well, they stink anyway. But like all those conference wins help. All those conference wins help.
Yeah.
We got to beat the Browns. Don't we play the Browns this year? We got to beat them when we play them because they could be a team we're fighting for a wild card spot with.
Yeah. Oh,
we got to beat the Browns. We should have no problem beating them. Deshaun Watson is garbage.
Oh, you know what'd be great? Knobcraft, I'm going to tell you this because you'll remember. You get him to order green face paint, and then we just green him out, and then we don't even see him. And it's just the green screen. we leave the two nipples pink, and then it's just two nipples floating in midair.
That would be the best, man. We have to do it. You guys have to hit the super chats, man. You gotta make me fucking green my head out. That'd be great. I'll even shave, so it's like perfectly. Oh, if I don't shave, maybe you'll just see the beard.
You had the green shirt on, and it blended in.
Maybe you'll only see the frame of my glasses.
Yeah, just glasses and two nipples floating in the air.
Something like that should fucking go viral if we did it. That should go. That deserves to go viral.
Where's this? All right. I'm looking still. No news on AVT yet. Usually around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock is when you get the injury updates on Monday. But all right, Jets fans, keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out throughout the week. You'll see us Wednesday night together on Jets Chaos, 9 p.m. Dom C will hop on. Hopefully he's got some good footage to go over. Jeremy, after we go off the air, don't disappear. I want to talk to you real quick about the show. Dave the Dude. What's up, Dave? Thanks. I've been waiting to see you. Hope all is well. Yeah, man.
Dave the Dude, I saw you before. I saw you. You watch a lot of the shows.
Yeah, man. Thanks for popping in, man. I'm gonna make this my thing on hopefully we have a lot of them. Victory Monday. Come on Mondays, the day after the win. I know everyone likes to go on that night. I'll be honest, man. I talked to Jeremy last night. I'm like still like jittery with like excitement. Like it's the greatest feeling in the world when this team wins.
And Dave, I really like the rug. It brings the room together.
No, that's not that. But all right, everybody. Thank you. Enjoy the week. It's fun when the Jets win. It's fun when your team does well. They're growing. They're learning. They're evolving. They're coaches and players. We're supposed to have Aaron Rodgers a quarterback. Like, late game drives weren't supposed to be a concern. We were going to run out the clock. Kudos to the defense. They're stepping up and making a play. They contained Russell Wilson down the end. They take the team's best punch and they punch back even harder. And something that we watched for years with this team, and we all screamed for it. They're good, but what was the but? They're good, but they don't get turnovers. We're getting turnovers now. Yeah, right. It's fun to do your homework without tears on them from crying from another loss. You put little smiley faces now. You get a little smiley face stamp like a teacher.
Matthew Smith has homework. He's big time. Matthew Smith is a big time dude. He's like Matthew Smith is like a moderator on the on Richie's Jets Media channel. He's big time.
Is he?
Yeah.
Look at you, man.
Or Jake Asman's one of those channels. He's like, I'm the moderator. I was like, how did Matthew Smith become a moderator?
Right?
On those channels. He's a moderator on my channel, but that's beside the point.
I'm getting there. I'm over 400 subs. I think, 500 you add moderators?
Oh, you can't yet? I didn't even know.
I don't know how to do it.
Just go up to their name on YouTube, like not in StreamYard. You have to go in YouTube on their name and hit the little circles on the right side.
Like right now in like the chat?
Yeah, like instead of blocking them, there's usually an option if you're able to make them a moderator. Like I see Phil and I say, look at Phil, he's not a cunt. I should make him a moderator. By the way, when I got into that fight at the dog park, I wish I had Phil Adams on my side. Because while I was cursing these people out, going, fuck you, if Phil was there, he would have been like, yeah,
what do you do? Standard moderator or managing moderator?
Standard. Managing moderator would be like me.
All right. Okay. Oh, wow. Look at me.
Yeah, you got to have a moderator. Let's see someone starts doing some shit in the chat. A moderator, but you have to trust your moderator. They're not going to block a person forever without consulting with you.
Mark Riss, how are you a moderator?
Well, he's a fucking teacher, so he's really good at shouting.
No, our buddy Ray, Ray. You met Ray last year.
Yeah.
Ray was mad that Mark for like a year on the Facebook group, Proud New York Jets Fans, was a moderator, and he changed his name in our private chat to "How are you a moderator?" And it's still that. I think I did it.
Mark Reese.
I think I did it.
Mark Reese, this guy just beat me up and took my backpack.
So what? When they comment now,
$20.
when they comment now, they'll have like the blue highlight and Mark comment, Knobcraft comment, Phil Adams comment. All right, Mark's in. Twisted comment. All right. Sending the screenshot to Ray. He texted me this morning and he's like, all right, let me know when you go live. I'm like, I'm going live at noon. And he didn't show up, so no mod for him. But all right, Jets fans, enjoy this. Enjoy Victory Monday. Enjoy it. Find reasons to be happy. Life is short. Go get a tattoo of a borough that you weren't even from. He's from the Bronx, and he wanted a Brooklyn.
Talking about? I'm Brooklyn for life.
He was from the Bronx.
Born and raised in Brooklyn, Canarsie.
From the Bronx. He told me he grew up 2 blocks from Yankee Stadium off of River Ave. He's like, I'm 164th Street for life, baby. And now he gets a tattoo of Brooklyn.
I'm born and raised in Canarsie. That's why it's the L train right there, baby.
Oh, my God. You got an L because the Jets normally lose.
Rockaway Parkway to Union Square, 8th Avenue, 14th Street.
You got anything you want to say in closing?
Just that, look, we're just going to have to be patient. Stop thinking that Zach Wilson was going to go from where he was to all of a sudden being great in one fast swoop. Just be happy you see progress. That's how players get good. It's progress. They typically don't go from bad to good in 1 week or in 2 weeks. It doesn't just magically happen. It's progress. He is showing real arm talent. He's making some pretty sick passes. There is a chance, depending on how much he can he keep improving is the question. Will he level out? Will he level out and then decline? Or will he keep getting a little bit better each week and learning to read defenses more and being even more consistent, being able to figure it out in the red zone? If those things happen, we might actually have a quarterback. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying it could happen. So it's not going to happen overnight, though, guys. We got to just be realistic. And that's what I got to say about that.
Amen. It's a team growing, man. It's young players too. That's the best part. It's not like guys who are 33 and on the decline who are like holding our team together. It's guys who are all on the come up. You know, you've seen it. They've taken my catchphrase. They use it. Stay loud. Stay proud, New York Jets fans. Thank you for watching. We'll see you Wednesday. Body paint, nipples, and all.
This is producer JR, and you are watching the Proud New York Jets fan show. Now give it up
This
for
is
my boy.
producer JR. Let's go. Producer JR.
This for my special delivery. Spit like this, get my wrist all glittery.
Can't wait.
Get cake, snakes get slithery. Lean
Can't
in,
wait.
show y'all the mean and the chivalry.
Let's make sure we
Rap
play like the
Buddha.
New York Jets.
Right jab like Zab Judah. Every member on my team is a shooter. Tight like a womb, no room for intruders. Spark,
Let's go
twist
get a
and Philly.
fucking snack.
Give it up
Good
for
humor.
Big
Don't
Sean.
be silly. It's gravy, baby. I got it all smothered.
Let's go
Like
to eat a
makeup.
damn snack.
Nick eats balls.